I wanted to bring some more clarity into the prophecy that was told by the Most High to Abraham, that his people would be in a foreign land for 400 years mistreated. Now you say that was 215 years in Canaan and 215 years in Egypt. So we know that this did happen. We know that the Israelites went into Egypt, but we don't know the exact year. Only reference to years, times, and dates, we have to refer back to a people who call themselves Jews, but they're not really the real Yahudim of Scripture. Now, they call themselves this because after the Babylonian captivity, a lot of people were worshiping the Torah, and a lot of people were mixed, so they just called everybody a Jew. Later on, Esau was forced into a religion called Judaism, okay? And now they're not really on the same type of teaching, the original teaching from Moshe. And the reason for this is because during this time, Hebrew had conformed into modern day Hebrew, and a lot of traditions inside of Babylon were mixed into the Torah, or the teachings of the Most High, the way. Now, obviously, people accept this because Christianity is the same way. It has different teachings from Rome and traditions from Rome that has nothing to do with the way or the original Torah of the Most High. Now, not trying to take away from Scripture, but giving you more clarity, we know that the Most High's people, which would be Abraham's people, Abraham's seed, Jacob's seed, and we know Jacob is now called Israel, which leads to the Israelites. We know that they were in an Egyptian slavery. What I'm trying to tell you is that this history will repeat itself if we do not follow the way of the Most High. There's no other nationality that will fall upon curses like the true people. The true people are the only people that will experience so many curses for generations from failing to honor the way of the Most High, the way that was embedded into us. What's so interesting is now we're seeing a lot of division. We're seeing Afro-Americans seeing our power, understanding the power we have. But we don't have it because we're black. We have it because we are the true promised people. We're talking about the way some people are treated no matter where they are in the whole entire world. For some reason, these people stand out. They just different. They're peculiar people. No one understands their behavior. No one understands what's going through their mind. No one understands why they're at the bottom of the totem pole. But we're telling you now, we know. We have repeated history. And the 400-year mark, where it says in there, it doesn't say 430 years. It says 400 years. My people will be in a foreign land and oppressed and not treated very well. He says, until the time of this war amongst the brothers, amongst Ham's seed, Canaan's seed, is over. Now we know that Canaan has mixed with everybody as well, so that we don't even know what Canaan looks like anymore. Well, we don't even know what these people look like anymore that are the seed of Ham, the cursed seed. We don't even know what they look like anymore, because now we realize that their seed, the long Hittites, the Hittites, all of them have been mixing with Europe, have been mixing with Caucasian persuasion, and therefore have a new identity. So you cannot say that they are all dark, because they are many colors. You don't know. But what indeed I am talking about is a spirit. It is a spirit. And this spirit of people through their lineages remains, just like the spirit of the Most High's people through their lineage, through their descendants, remain. Now, if you want to break it down like Josephus did, because he's the only one that held records back then, which we appreciate and all, but he wasn't even an Israelite, to be honest with you. And it was very clear at first until AI took over. And then AI wanted you to know that, no, he's Jewish. He's Jewish because he cannot actually link to the promised people at all. But thank you, Josephus Flavius, for actually documenting our history And I believe he had a color change, because I don't believe anybody back then was as light as they portray. Not even Europeans. People that's coming from the Caucasus, all of them were not white, like angel-looking type of creatures. They were actually brown. And further research is showing us that they got linked to the Hittites. So let's rewind and go back in history. Let's understand that there has been no slavery in the whole entire world that lasted for 400 years where they oppressed people. If there was another slavery, they didn't get depressed. People decided that they was going to be the slave. They wanted to be the slave, or they got free from being a slave, as the rule of slavery has existed for many years. It's just this particular slavery where they refuse to follow the rules, meaning that you will have to free your slave in 7 years, or give them the option to stay with you and their family being well taken care of. And we know this did not happen during the transatlantic slave trade. So at 400 years, marked at 2020 vision on the lies told from a nation that has been enslaving us in more ways than just physical. For 250 years inside of the transatlantic slave trade brought us talks and movements about freedom. Sounds like the same thing that happened in Canaan when Abraham was told to go to another land. The Most High told him to leave Canaan and go to another land. And that's the same thing. People were making movements to try to abolish or stop this slavery system, because it was just inhumane, not following scripture at all. And in fact, they gave the slaves a slave Bible that was nothing comparison to the original scriptures. And therefore, we would not get the edification. We would not wake up. We would not understand who we truly were. You know, because our names got changed. As soon as we got over here, they gave us all new names. Wonder why? Because our names were important. Our names had meaning. And so the first thing they did was strip our names and then give us names from biblical people in the Bible that the Europeans adapted and changed their names into, like Matthew. Davis is one of those names. It comes from David. So, flashback, 215 years, right? Talks were made, marking another 215 years, which would be the 400-year prophecy fulfilled in a land called Egypt, in another land. This America is considered Egypt, not because originally it was Egypt, but it could have been a part of Egypt and then separated by the waters. But we know this land is Egypt today because of a spiritual nature of it and a physical. Look at your dollar bill. On your dollar bill, there's a pyramid from Egypt. So it's telling you that we have adapted the model type of Egypt here and Babylon, because they were very similar in nature. 400 years, your people will be oppressed, will be not treated right. Sounds like America, Egypt, the ego, the soaring ego. Come on, I can keep going on and on how we are very much Egypt today. But 400 years is over, mark 2020, and now we're moving forward to 2030, which would be the 430 years, matching exactly like scripture. This thing is mind-blowing. Stay tuned for more.